ton of football to break down, but Cone, real quick. You took a trip to one of the worst places on earth to go. I'm not talking about Mordor. I'm not talking about inside a volcano or on The View. I'm talking about the DMV.
Oh, the DMV. It's incredible. I was sitting there I just wanted to observe for a little bit. Like, man, let's just see how poorly this place is run.
Oh, it's probably run horrible.
I mean, I've tried to go several times since I've been here. We're residents now of the great state of Tennessee, so I've tried to go several times. I walk in there, I have all my paperwork, lay it out for them, and it was 3 o'clock on the dot. And the woman goes, all right, well, if we don't call your name by 5, we're going to ask you to leave, and you'll have to come back another day.
Dude, I just can't.
Yeah, I saw the poll you put out, and I was like, immediately leave.
Yeah.
And I was looking around, I'm like, well, you know this place. What do you think my chances are here? Yeah, I think we can get to you. So I'm going on hour 2. I'm 75 minutes in, and I'm thinking, man.
I'm out.
Everyone who was here before me has already been called. Some new people who were here already been called. I'm like, what's the conspiracy going on here? But we made it through.
You got it done.
And when I went up there, I heard one of them in the back snickering about whether or not they should call the next person or not.
I'm just telling you, man, like that's one of the, I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. I got some enemies.
When you don't have the free market system to keep you in line.
Well, I put the poll is going to be about the DMV today. It's going to be what is worse, the DMV, Portland, or hell.
Yeah, I will say, I will say, I've had a lot of people on social media ask, how do I join the Booster Club? Well, look, just go sub to the YouTube channel. It's that easy.
Yep.
Training company on YouTube. Even if you listen on podcast, just go. That way we have it like on file. Because just because you listen to the podcast, I don't know you listen to the podcast. So to be able to register to win stuff, that's the easiest way.
And share the YouTube channel with 3 friends.
Yes, that's exactly right. Or 4 friends. Former UGA quarterback Buck Belue shares his thoughts on Georgia this season. We're going to make our Pac-12 predictions. And Serena Williams is retiring from professional tennis, at least right now. I'm Jake Crane, and welcome to Crane & Company. To the Georgia fans for a second. To all you guys that are complaining about people in sports media not giving Georgia a legitimate shot to repeat, or the ones who are saying they're the biggest one-hit wonder since Milli Vanilli, you should be rejoicing instead of complaining for a few reasons. First off, you finally got off the schneid. You took home the title for the first time in 40 years. You should also know, and I know you do, at this point, the way Kirby stacked recruiting class on recruiting class and the way the culture's been developed, Georgia's here to stay for a while. But the biggest reason you should be happy about the disrespect is that it feeds right into what Kirby wants to use as motivation for 2022. Now, we already know Coach Smart is a master motivator. Anybody that disputes that, you're just flat out wrong. But now he doesn't have to go searching for tackling fuel or try to reinvent a way to get his team as focused as they were last year. The lack of respect some are putting on Georgia's name is the perfect hangover cure. Now, Kirby has already and will continue to use that to push this team to become the best version of themselves. Now, this year's team is going to be a little bit of a different flavor than last year. The defense is going to be really good, but asking for a repeat of 2021's dominance with all the guys they lost to the NFL is pretty unfair. But the offense will be more explosive than last year by leaps and bounds. Just trust me. I know they lost James Cook and Pickens and Jermaine Burton went to Bama, but the patchwork that Todd Monken did last year with all the injuries led him to be more conservative than Jim Jordan and Matt Gates combined because they had to. Now, we know Ladd McConkey and Adonai Mitchell can ball, but having a healthy Rosemy-Jack-Saint, Kearis Jackson, Blaylock, Meeks, and the additions they have made in recruiting will more than suffice. Oh, and they also have the best tight end room since the changing area backstage at the last Victoria's Secret model show. Add the built-in motivation to a roster that continues to fill more holes than Shia LaBeouf, and Georgia's going to be dangerous again this year. Remember, I said that. I'm going to bring in David Cohn, the guy who will clean your chimney out in the 1880s.
Not for free.
Here to my right. Not for free.
Not for free. Of course not.
But Cohn, I'm not saying it. I picked Georgia to win it last year.
You did. And they did.
I think they're going to make the playoff, but I think you're going to have Bama and Ohio State in the national championship game. But we remember last year going into it, we talked about, hey, with the weapons they have, with Monken, they're probably going to open up the offense more. It's going to look a little freer, kind of making that transition that Nick Saban made when he brought in Lane Kiffin and some of these other guys where it wasn't just defense, run the ball, special teams, let you beat yourself. I think we're going to see that version of Georgia's offense this year, a little bit more spread out. I think you're going to see some more 10 personnel. And look, James Cook was really good. And I know Blaine thinks he was fantastic, especially catching the ball in the backfield, third down. But this year's Georgia team, do you think it's going to be kind of a flip-flop from last year's team, a little offense-heavy with the defense being good enough?
Possibly, and I'm excited to see just because I do think that offense will take another step forward. Like what Blaine and I were trying to break it down earlier, right? And I think look at just start at the quarterback position with Stetson Bennett. First of all, not only do you get another season under his belt, and anytime you get one of those cerebral type kids who has another year and a national championship under their belt, they're going to play better football, in my opinion, and also doesn't have to look over his shoulder wondering whether or not he's going to be the starting quarterback. So you can just start there, and then the weapons are going to come down into place, and we're going to break it down here in just a little bit. But just from a 30,000-foot view, we were talking earlier, okay, one is Georgia a one-hit wonder. Not close. They're going to be a problem at the highest level for a long time, especially if the desire to coach in the NFL never develops for Kirby Smart, right? Like if he wants to be a college coach for the rest of his career.
Which I don't see it.
I think he's going to be a college coach, right?
Well, I think he learned from Saban.
I
think you look at your mentor and you say, okay, you went to the NFL. I know you weren't there for long, but you can't run an NFL team with the type of hands-on, full control that Nick has at Bama, that Kirby has at Georgia, because, look, you have a GM, you have an owner, you have guys that you answer to. Kirby Smart's not, you can say what you want, Kirby Smart's not answering to anybody, especially now that he won the Natty at Georgia. It's Kirby Smart. That's Lord Vader. When it gets done, the emperor's gone. He makes the decision.
And you're in a recruiting hotbed. So if he remains a college coach, he's going to remain at Georgia, then there really is no ceiling to how great they can be. So one-hit wonder, please don't make me laugh. Will they repeat as national champions? Probably not, just because it is so difficult to do. And you look at what Alabama's coming with, and you look at what the Buckeyes are coming with. But it is possible. That should excite Georgia fans, too. And if you can do it while flying under the radar, I do think they're going to be a little bit better on offense. And then as far as defensively, they are going to reload. I mean, are they going to be as good as last year? I don't know, but do they even need to be able to win the national championship? We're going to find out. And you want to talk about their offensive pieces a little bit, right? Like, do you think they're going to be as good on offense?
No, I don't. I think
You don't?
I think they're going to open it up a lot more because they have to. They didn't have to do that last year, but this year they're going to have to do that. I wouldn't say they're going to be better this year.
Okay.
I mean, you look at the pieces they lost. I know George Pickens didn't play most of the season with that knee injury, but George Pickens was a first round. I mean, my opinion, receiver. If he stays healthy that the entire year, he'd be talking with the Jameson Williams of the group. I mean, your tight end room is phenomenal. We'll see with Tariq Gilbert. I mean, they're going to hone in on the tight ends more after just the performance and the guys you have there. But you lost Trey Burton to Bama. I mean,
Jermaine Burton.
And you lose Cook to the league. I don't think they'll be better. I still think they'll be good, but I think they're going to have to be a different offense here with a different philosophy because you're not going to lean on that defense as heavy as you could. We saw one of the best defenses Georgia's ever had, not even Georgia, but in college football in a long time. So, no, I think they'll be more productive. I do think that because
But out of necessity.
Out of necessity, exactly. But I don't think they'll be more talented.
Well, here's my problem with that. Yes, you're right. They did lean on that defense last year, but it was a mixture of leaning on that defense and injuries. Georgia was decimated on the outside by injuries. Tariq Gilbert isn't a guy that you put on the end of the line of scrimmage every play in 12 personnel, or you get an ace. You can put Brock Bowers out wide. You can put Tariq Gilbert out wide. Now, Darnell Washington, who's a converted tackle, that's your big kind of bully. So we can't look at Brock Bowers and Tariq Gilbert as just big H-backs or guys that are only guys that can put their hand down and run the slip and slide and try and bully the linebacker to get open in the middle of the field. But when I look at Georgia, Kearis Jackson's back. That they were so beat up. Dominique Blaylock is back. Meeks is nice. McConkey's nice. I can go down, look at who they signed. Adonai Mitchell stepped up in the national championship game last year on the biggest stage, and that's not including any of the guys they signed. Then you look at running back. James Cook was good. He's an NFL player. Milton, NFL player. McIntosh, NFL player. The Branson kid they got is going to be nasty. You return 3 of your 5 offensive linemen. Losing Matt Luke did hurt, but acting like Georgia, you return your quarterback. Acting like Georgia is not going to be better offensively with a system that's a little more spread out, with having more weapons. They will have more weapons on offense this year than last year. Hell, they have more weapons than Ukraine right now, like when you look at them on offense. So I just don't see how you
They had all these guys last year, like the guys you just
They
said.
were beat up,
They had all these guys last year with the guys that graduated.
They were
and
hurt.
Pickens and Cook. McConkey played.
Yes, and he balled.
Yeah, I mean, Burton played. Adonis played. I mean, like they had they had these same guys last year.
But Blaine,
with the add-ons that just got drafted.
Blaylock was hurt.
But that doesn't make them more talented than the guys that have. Hell, George Pickens was beat up half the year last year and still went in the first round. They had the guys on top of the guys last year. Now, these new guys did well, but you're not getting back the productivity that you're losing. George Pickens has a fact to be a number 1 wide receiver.
He didn't play any last year, really.
He played when it mattered.
He didn't play a lot, though.
He played when it mattered.
If you're going to tell me you're as talented when half the guys are hurt on the sideline than when they're healthy, I don't know what you're smoking, but that's some good stuff.
Name the guys that were hurt last year.
Blaylock, Kyrus Jackson.
Kyrus played.
Kyrus was hurt on and off.
Kyrus Jackson played football last year.
Arik Gilbert wasn't part of it. Okay. Brock Bowers was a freshman. We know he's the best tight end.
There's no way Brock Bowers, from a productivity standpoint this year, he's going to be the main guy that they will focus on.
And that's going to help the other guys.
I know, but
that's going to help.
It got to the point where it's like that last season, but the other guys were still the other guys on that team last year with better players who just got drafted.
Stetson Bennett didn't take a snap in the offseason, dog.
Yep. I understand the Stetson Bennett. I understand that. But I still think if you compare this Georgia team, this Georgia offense to last year's Georgia offense, it wouldn't be a more talented offense. It's going to be a different offense. It's going to be more productive because you're going to have to be more productive because you don't got Nakobe Dean or Jordan Davis on these guys on defense that were absolutely basically just mowing down offenses.
Well, so your argument is that this Georgia offense is not as talented as the one last year, but they're going to be more productive?
Yep.
Just out of necessity.
Yeah, exactly. Because the defense, that makes sense.
I think the whole team is going to play with more confidence because they finally gotten that monkey off their back. And not only did they win the national title, but they went through Alabama to do it. And you remember we talked about this a lot leading up to the national championship last year about how Kirby was just hoping that Cincinnati didn't upset Alabama, right? Because he wanted another shot at them to go through them. I think that will mean a lot for them this season coming in because you're not going to deal with any complacency that maybe a normal national title winner will have to deal with. Another thing as it relates to offense versus defense, last year they were able to win the national title with having one of the greatest defenses we've ever seen, and the offense was just efficient. How cool would it be for them, because we always talk about being able to win in multiple ways, if the defense does slip, but the offense picks them up this year and they're still able to be as productive?
Well, again, it just shows you, malleability and football's cyclical in the way rosters work when you have 85 guys on scholarship. And this is why Nick Saban is the greatest. And Kirby knows this. And they never lose too much at once. But when they do, they have an answer for it. Mm-hmm. You may have lost a couple guys on the defensive line, but, man, that offensive line is bringing back. They stack it and they tier it. That's why I make the argument of the transfer portal now has thrown a lot of that off. It's made it so much harder to be able to sit here and look at the percentages and say, all right, we lose this guy in 2023. We lose these guys in 2024, 2025. Here's who we need to recruit. Here's how we need to supplement it. Now, all of a sudden, with the transfer portal, you could lose an entire position group, not to graduation or to the NFL, but mostly to the transfer portal. I'm interested to see what's the Booster Club say, Mine.
Okay, we got a question here. What would be a spicier ad to the SEC? Let me find it. It was Notre Dame and somebody. I'll get back to that. But M. Hutton says the route combos Georgia will be able to run this year with their wide receivers and tight ends will be hard for teams to cover. They're a matchup nightmare.
You can't double everybody. And when you're good in the seam and you got guys that you can put in the slot that are as big as Brock, you could hand Brock Bowers the ball. He could play running back. And we're going to talk to Buck Belue here in a second. But Georgia's going to be able to spread you out. What did we say was so devastating about the offenses that we've seen at Bama and Ohio State? They can beat you in multiple ways. You can't double everybody. What makes the Golden State Warriors so good? Who you going to double? You going to double Steph the whole time and let Clay kill you? You going to double Clay the whole time and let Steph shoot it behind his back and make it?
Poole.
They got shooters on deck, like straight out the G League, like Jordan Poole. So again, Georgia, while it may be a different flavor, that disrespect aspect that Georgia fans are complaining about, y'all, I'm telling you, you should be partying the streets because Kirby and them are salivating over it. And that's not the only thing that's going to motivate him. He's going to tell them, listen, do you want to be the class that after the national championship, it fell off the table? You saw how the guys did it. They showed you the Nakobe Deans, the Jordan Davises, guys like that. They showed you how to be those guys. Now look, the Georgia defense may slip a little bit, but they don't have a bunch of slappies out there.
Exactly.
Nolan Smith is an alien. Jalen Carter may be the best one out of the whole group before it's all said and done. And I just watched Trayvon Walker kick the Raiders' ass every time he was in the lineup, straight coming in his rookie year. So when I look at Georgia, this team, while I don't have them winning the Natty, if they slipped up and did, I would not be shocked.
And do you have them going into the SEC championship unbeaten? I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
Unbeaten.
Unbeaten.
And you?
Yeah.
You have them losing one game, don't you, before that?
I'd have to go back and look.
I thought you had
losing on the road at Kentucky.
Kentucky.
I got them losing on the road at Kentucky.
That's what it was.
What else from the
But I'd rather, to tell you the truth, I'm taking Georgia over Ohio State right now.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be a good matchup. That would be a very
I would love
good
to see
matchup.
it. It'd be great for us as college football fans to see it.
Cody Kirby says Stetson Bennett's talented, but it is close to his ceiling of productivity. The idea that they're going to be a much better offense doesn't hold.
I don't see how an experience coming off a national championship year where you got over the hump doesn't make you a better player, especially when you have more weapons on the outside and you're going to be part of a more wide open offense. Stetson Bennett should be as confident as anybody. You know how confident he is? He got the same haircut as the guy from Full Metal Jacket, man.
Got a fade.
That's how confident he is right now. So I think Stetson's dangerous. I real deal with, again, people sleep on his running ability. All right, they sleep on his ability to extend the plays. Now, with a healthy group of wide receivers, and look, they got to stay healthy. Okay, injuries happen, attrition happens, but Stetson Bennett basically didn't take a snap during the offseason last year, came in and led you to the promised land. Oh, we're in the desert. Is that a lake or is it a mirage? Oh my God, it's a lake. Thanks, Stetson. Give me the staff.
Okay, we got M. Hutton. Will Georgia score over and under 28 points per game in 2022?
I'd put them close to that. You look at their schedule. I mean, again, you're not going up, and I know Oregon returned some guys on defense, but let's not act like everybody's just shaking in their space boots looking at what Oregon's bringing on defense. I would say 27 to 28.
I might take the over. They're going to get the ball back a lot. The defense is still going to be stopping people often. So.
No, they will. But we're going to get back to the Booster Club. We're going to do our Pac-12 predictions. I want to get to Buck Belue, former Georgia quarterback, talking a little bit about the SEC overall, a little bit about Stetson. It was really good to see him at SEC Media Days.
All right, very excited to welcome from 680 The Fan, former Georgia quarterback Buck Belue, good friend of ours, man. It's so good to see you again.
Hey, good to be back.
You know, when we see you, it must be getting close to football season. That's my favorite part about it.
SEC Media Days.
SEC Media Days. I got to ask you, and I wanted to ask all the Georgia guys we get on this. You know, Georgia coming off the first natty in 40 years, which I know you know, hadn't been a ton of talk. And I feel like that's exactly what Kirby wants coming off the national championship. I mean, everybody's talking about Alabama and what they returned in the revenge tour, all this stuff. But I'm looking at it, and do you think this is kind of playing a little bit perfectly into Kirby's hands? They still don't respect us. We're at the top of the mountain, but they still don't respect us?
Well, he's the ultimate motivator.
For sure. Learn from a good one.
Yeah, he sure did. And, you know, I think Kirby, he comes from a football family. His dad was a high school football coach in Georgia for a number of years, and probably doesn't get as much credit as Kirby being with Nick Saban over there in Tuscaloosa. But Kirby is a master motivator, and I think that plays right along into what you're talking about there. When you hear the Alabama people talking, you know, they lost that natty because, well, they had Jamison Williams didn't play, and had one of their other receivers didn't play, and I look at it differently. I see where Georgia in the first game rushed for it, Bryce. Mm-hmm. And he had all day back there. They didn't even wash his uniform, I don't think. Threw it about 50 times and for 1,000 yards. You look at the national championship game, Georgia turned up the heat, rushing 5, sometimes 6 defenders. The pass rush really wreaked some havoc on Bryce, and I think that, to me, that was the big difference in the two games.
Without a doubt. Now, I think Alabama's offensive line played their best game they played all year in the SEC championship game when you really look at it. Because remember, the beginning of the year was somewhat of a problem. You know, people are a little bit concerned about it. It was weird not seeing Alabama be able to run the ball. But, you know, there was an old saying when it talks about excuses, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Yeah. But it is what it is. You know, looking at this team coming back, obviously, you lose Jordan Davis and Kobe, the middle of that defense. Smart move by the Eagles to get both of those guys. But you return Nolan Smith, and we know the level that Kirby's recruited, especially on the defensive side. But, Buck, I look at the offensive side. I'm a lot higher on Stetson Bennett than a lot of other people are, but you had Jermaine Burton in there, and the tight end room, maybe the best tight end room I've ever seen in my life in college football. Do you think the offense is going to be more explosive this year?
Well, I think the key to Georgia's season is to lead with the offense the first 6 to 8 games of the year. Stetson knows this offense by Todd Monken like the back of his hand. Get up, go up tempo, let him call these plays at the line of scrimmage. I see a really quality offensive line. I see 8 to 10 to 12 weapons that he can get the ball to. I think that's the key is to lead with the offense until this defense can rep it, get a little experience. You got a lot of young, talented players that hadn't played a lot of football. And so you got to give them a break. There's going to be drop-off
For sure.
on that defensive side early in the year. So light up the scoreboard, man. Lead with the offense, and then hopefully later in the season, when, say, Alabama shows up, they're ready to come out and play some championship football.
Definitely, and practicing against those guys are going to help, too, on that defense, kind of like the way it helped the offense last year, in my opinion.
Well, let's stay on the defense. I mean, they did lose a lot. I mean, 5 to the NFL in the first round alone, which is unbelievable. They were able to do that. Do you think that Georgia on the defensive side of the ball is going to be able to reload as effectively as they need to this season?
Well, I think secondary, they're in really good shape. They got to figure out one cornerback spot opposite Keely Ringo. Linebacker, they're going to be really young at the linebacker spot. Nolan Smith will be the captain on defense, and he's capable of having a big season, so that's going to help. I think the defensive line is probably the biggest question. You got Jalen Carter, he looks like Warren Sapp, and they're from the hometown of Apopka, Florida, hometown. So I think he's going to be awesome. But, you can't have him taking on double teams. So they need to find some answers on that defensive line other than Jalen Carter if they're going to run it back this season.
Yeah, and I think, David, too, those younger guys learning from those older guys. Just because N'Kobe and them are gone, that legacy, they understand it now. They've seen the recipe. They know how to make the gumbo. Now you just got to get in the kitchen, put it together.
When you recruit that well, reloading is going to be a problem all the time. So it is a good problem to have. And when you look at Kirby Smart being able to build what he has and take over that mantle from Mark Richt at Georgia, it sort of created a void in the SEC East. What other teams are you looking at to come and fill that void? Tennessee's kind of coming on strong. Florida took a step back, but Kentucky's been well. What are your thoughts on the East right now?
Well, I would say you name the two teams that you need to keep an eye on. Tennessee can score the ball under Heupel, so look out for that. Hooker is a really dynamic player at cornerback. I'm not sure they can stop anybody, though. Kentucky is a good overall team. I mean, Stoops is but it's underplayed what a quality job he's done in Lexington. So I think they'll be solid, again, really strong on the line of scrimmage. Their quarterback, Levis, is a really good player. If he quits turning the ball over. I saw him turn it over, it seemed like 10 times against Mississippi State last year.
13 picks last year.
So, he's got to eliminate that. So those are the two teams to keep an eye on. It's going to take Florida a minute to restock the talent level down there. Mullen and Grantham didn't exactly leave them with a lot of talent as they walked out the door.
Which is wild to think at Florida. Florida's usually oozing talent. But, Buck, I appreciate it, man. As usual, it's great to see you. Going to be a heck of a season. Let's get football season here. I love baseball. I played it, loved it. But, look, let's get the real thing here.
All right, great having Buck Belue on, a guy that I'm sure we'll have on at some point during the season. But before we get to our Pac-12 predictions, which we know who's right, it's going to be me, I do want to announce, and we're going to keep announcing this. We are super duper excited. We are going to start going during drive time in the morning every weekday, 6:30 to 8 Central. Unbelievable time slot. That's an extra 30 minutes due to high demand. We're so excited to be able to come to you guys early in the morning. I know a lot of y'all want to listen to us live, and you can't because you're at work. I know we go kind of at an interesting time, but we're so excited to announce starting in a couple weeks, we will be going in the morning. So whether you're putting your cereal, making your pancakes, or driving the kids to school, whatever, you're going to be able to check us out. I'm really excited about that as well.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. But let's go ahead and get these Pac-12 predictions. And I know Washington going 7-2, everybody's going to freak out about, but let me explain. Look, I got Utah losing to Florida early, week 1, but I got them going 9-0, running through the Pac-12. I know they go to Oregon. You get USC at home, but Oregon has not proven that they could beat Utah, at least recently. Kyle Whittingham, one of the most underrated coaches in college football. Give me Utah 9-0. Give me Oregon 8-1. Dan the man landing out there, having a nice little first year, keeping it steady with Bo Nix. And look, I got USC going 7-2. Caleb Williams, dog. Mario Williams, dog. The transfers they've had in from Colorado, getting the running back to transfer in. I know he's a big-time player, the Travis Dye kid. I think they're going to be good, but I don't think the defense is going to be good enough to run through the Pac-12 this year. And I got Washington going 7-2. You look at the schedule.
Love it.
They don't play a lot of the big dogs, all right? DeBoer coming over from Fresno State. They almost had Jake Haener. Michael Penix Jr. from Indiana. I hope he can stay healthy. He's really good. I know they returned their starter from last year who was just all right. The Sam Hewitt kid's interesting as well. But you look at Washington, and you look at what they return offensively, defensively, and up front. this first year, new phone, who dis, new coach. I think Washington makes a steady little sneaky run. Give me UCLA 6-3. I love Charbonnet, the running back. Getting the quarterback, the Dorian kid to come back was big, even though I'm just really not sold on him as a passer. I know it was a problem last year, but they're going to be able to put up points. I know he was, all Pac-12, whatever, but I really don't believe in him that much. Oregon State, the Jonathan Norman guy over there, I like what he's done. Oregon State, Corvallis, it's a hard place to win. I got him going 4-5. Then Stanford, the tree. Look, I know Tanner McKee looks like the All-American you think it should be at 6'6", 230, whatever it is, but they have struggled. I think they continue to struggle. David Shaw, they may keep him there forever, but he's got to start winning some games. I don't have him doing it. Washington State going 4-5 last year with Rolovich. That was a crazy situation. But probably one of my biggest surprises, I got Arizona winning 3 games. Jed Fish, he inherited an absolute disaster. They've done a great job in the portal, done a really good job in recruiting. I've got Arizona winning 3 games. Colorado 2-7 mid. Arizona, you lose Jaden Daniels. I know they've added some guys through the portal that they're excited about. I just don't think they have the horses. I've got them and Cal, who really doesn't care about football, even though Justin Wilcox is a daggum good coach. That's a tough place to win. I got both them going 1-8.
I like it. All right, bring mine up real quick here. I was thinking about this in 3 different tiers, and that first tier to me is Utah, Oregon, and Southern California. Yep. Now, you have Utah losing to Florida, but then going unbeaten in the Pac-12.
They started 1-2 last year.
I have Utah beating Florida, but dropping a game somewhere in here.
Is it at Oregon?
That's not what I had. I was thinking maybe at UCLA, something a little more unpredictable like that, because right now I have them beating Oregon. But and speaking, I do think they win the conference. But Oregon 7-2. I think the foundation is so strong, like you said, that Dan Lanning can come in there and win right away. Bo Nix is a seasoned quarterback, focused, having fun. Look, he's a seasoned college football quarterback, man. He's athletic. You saw last year what he's able to do when he has a good pocket and when he's able to get some help. So I have Oregon 7-2 right now, and then Southern California to me is the most interesting. I have them 7-2 in the conference. I think they dropped 2 somewhere along the way. Their schedule is not a cakewalk. Their schedule is not a cakewalk. Look at this right here. They're going to Stanford, to Oregon State, to Utah, to UCLA. They finish up with Notre Dame, even Fresno State at home with Jake Haener returning at quarterback. These are not cakewalk games, but with the transfer portal the way it is, with Lincoln Riley coming over there, the offensive guru that he is, the players that he brings with him, and Southern Cal being an old school blue blood brand, I think that they can bounce back. You can't solve all of the infrastructure issues that Southern California had in one offseason, but with the transfer portal and Lincoln Riley's ability, I think that they're going to be in that top tier in the conference, and it would not shock me at all if they were able to win it. I'm big on Zach Charbonnet and UCLA. I have them 6-3. Washington, I love to see you so big on Washington. Dude. I have them 5-4 right now, but I'm pulling for them to win the conference because my boy Nick Sheridan's the tight end coach over there. He gets to reunite with Michael Penix Jr. There's no telling what they're able to do. And then that next tier down, I'm interested to see what Oregon State's going to be able to do, or even Colorado. I don't think Arizona State is going to be able to bounce back from all that they're dealing with right now as a program and losing their starting quarterback to LSU. I have them 2-7, and then you're more bullish on Arizona than I am. I have them finishing 1-8, but again, someone's going to be unpredictable in the conference.
Yeah, well, I like the Delora kid that transferred to Arizona to the quarterback position. But Jed Fish, again, you took over an absolute disaster. I mean, you had tornado sirens, hurricane warnings, typhoon problems going on in Arizona. Everything that could go wrong was going wrong after the Sumlin absolute disaster that he created over there. I think they're sneaky, man. I think they're pissed. They've recruited very, very well for a program that was down. You look at their schedule, I think they can sneak, like I said, 3 wins in there. It's going to be interesting.
Pull it up. Y'all really sold on Utah, huh?
Oregon.
Yes. I'm going to start from the bottom to the top here.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about teams that I don't need to spend a lot of time talking about. All right. The bottom tier, Colorado, Arizona, Stanford, Cal, no one believes in it. They barely believe in it. So, I mean, decent. Oregon State, I'm excited about. We'll see. I think they're going to win a couple big games. Arizona State, what you said, David, going through too much. Washington State might be a little sneaky this year. Washington State and Washington, so we'll see. UCLA, I just worry about the defense.
Yeah.
That's what I worry about.
Yeah.
The offense will be there. They'll be there, but the defense hasn't been there for a while. USC 7-2. I go back to also the defense.
We all got USC 7-2.
Jordan Addison's nice. Caleb Williams nice. Caleb's known to make some mistakes. he was a young kid last year, so they do have a tough schedule. Then Utah 7-2. I got them losing on the road at Oregon.
Okay, and what else?
And losing on the road, I believe, at Oregon State.
Really?
At Oregon?
Nope, they have Oregon State at home.
Okay, go bottom of the schedule.
Okay, bottom of the schedule from the very last game at Colorado, at Oregon, versus Stanford, versus Arizona, at Washington State, maybe?
I think that was it.
Or
At Washington
USC
State.
at home.
It was a road game. So it must have been Washington State. I have them losing one on the road at Oregon and another one. Then the Dan Lanning Fighting Ducks, baby. Bo Nix, he's focused. He's having fun. Could be a dark horse for Heisman.
No way.
And I believe they take it home 8-1. All right. And I believe they lose a road game too, but beat Utah and they take it home to play in the championship. Dan Lanning, his first year, is going to be the Pac-12 champions, baby. I can't wait. Come on, Oregon. I'm believing in you. Take them week 1 versus Georgia. It might be a dub.
Are you saying right now you're taking Oregon to beat Georgia?
You go in your parents' room.
All right, so bets.
You lift up the mattress and you take that $20 bill and you put it on the Oregon Fighting Ducks money line to beat the defending national champions week 1 versus Georgia. Quack, 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 quack. Quack. Go dogs.
Yeah, man, they may need Gordon Bombay to do that one. But if you want to watch the rest of the show, you can listen if you want to stay here. But if you want to watch, head over to the Daily Wire Plus, become a member, listen on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review, helps with everything, and share it with your friends. Got a great back half of the show. Very excited about our new announcement about going in the morning. We'll be right back. Oh, welcome back. Sorry, I was just catching up on some reading. I'd like to break a mental sweat. Blaine, what's the Club de la Booster over there saying?
Oh, okay. The DGD podcast.
Can't wait for Dirty
this.
Rob.
Can't wait for this. The mustache has caused some brain damage.
Well, it does take nutrients away from your brain to be able to make
mustache
it grow.
M. Hutton, big USC fan. USC is going to score 35+ per game at the minimum.
At the minimum,
Which will be enough
not
for the league.
I know Utah lost Devin Lloyd. I know they lost a couple guys on defense, but they also returned a decent amount. And they have it figured out, in my opinion.
Hey, it's
Cam Rising?
sort of like finances, man. It doesn't matter how much money you make if you spend more than you make.
That's
You make
exactly
$10 million a year, but you spend 11, you're still in debt.
That's
all right?
exactly
So
right.
if you're scoring 35, but you're giving up 42, you still lose.
That's exactly right.
All right, David Vernon, hashtag Ask Jake. Who do you think wins week 3, Washington versus Michigan State?
Where's that game
I saw
at?
that matchup. I saw
I
that.
want to say it's at Michigan
Hold on,
State.
I have it right here.
You got it, Dave?
It is versus Michigan State
It's at home.
on ABC.
You know what?
September 17th. Golly, that's going to be a good one.
You know what? Give me Washington.
You know what? I'll take Washington.
Give me
too. Let's
Washington.
go.
Give me Washington. Call me George. I'll take Washington. What else, babe?
Even though I'm not putting in money on it.
But I love what Mel Tucker's doing.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll get over there.
Sorry. I'll never interrupt you.
apologize.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll never interrupt
No,
you.
no, that's fine.
Don't interrupt the
the
man
y'all
with
are
the
good.
mustache.
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. All
But
right,
I do agree with you, Jake.
Okay, good. Yeah, get him out of here, please.
Yeah.
We have a 23-19. That's his name. Okay. I'm taking the over on Colorado, but he's somewhat skeptical hippo still.
Look, you deserve to be skeptical, Hippo of Colorado. I'm skeptical, Hippo of Colorado. Everybody's skeptical, Hippo of Colorado. I don't think, and I'm not talking about the players or the coaches, I just don't think Colorado cares enough about athletics. I don't think they want to be one of the big dogs in football. I think they're happy with, the old white good men, I'm not okay, you're not okay, but that's okay thing. Like, that's
They
Colorado.
played Texas A&M close last season.
Yeah, and still took that L.
They did.
Took that L hard.
All right, Zane Riley, who apparently knows more about football than anybody who's ever walked the face of the earth.
Why do you say that? Did
Picking
he say
Oregon
that?
over UGA, ... It tells me how much you don't know. UGA could run nothing but tight ends, Bowers, Washington, Gilbert, Delp, matchup nightmares for every position in the secondary. I think you're kind of. I would look at that Oregon that defense. Those linebackers and up front are pretty nice.
Hey,
Well,
Buckeyes,
They have.
Buckeyes thought something similar last year at home.
I
against
do want to say I don't have Georgia losing to Oregon.
I don't either. Yeah, let's just be on the record.
I mean,
Blaine said that.
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to go on a limb. Live a little, guys. Live a little. How about that?
I just say
I mean, you do have Washington going 7-2, but I'm insane for saying Oregon might beat Georgia week 1.
Read Washington's schedule. Pull up Washington's schedule. Tell me that it's not as crazy as what you think. Just the conference schedule. Just the conference.
Oh, just the conference.
Just the
schedule.
conference.
Okay. Stanford home.
Win.
At UCLA.
You know what? I'll give them a loss on that.
At Arizona State.
Win.
Arizona home.
Win.
At Cal.
Win.
Oregon State home.
Win.
At Oregon.
Loss.
Colorado at home.
Win.
And then at Washington State.
That's 7. That's not crazy to think, man. Where's the craziness in that?
I mean, you're just passing over games. Win. I mean, you think Washington's just going to come out and roll everybody?
Dude, I'm telling you, keep sleeping on Washington. Michael keeps
sleeping on Oregon.
Stays healthy. They always
keep sleeping on Oregon.
Players.
I can say the same thing.
Bro, I got Oregon going 8-1, dog.
You have Oregon beating Washington, didn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got Oregon going 8-1. Jeez.
Disrespect Bo Nix like that.
All right, let's go to 5 big questions.
Whoa, man.
Man.
Calm down over there.
Bo Nix going to be watching
mustache?
watching the Georgia Rush more than
my mustache,
people at a
dude.
Rush concert.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's a thing of beauty.
It's certain things you can come at me with. You can call me wrong, you can call me stupid. If you come at a man's mustache,
Yeah, I agree. Can we go to Major League Baseball here?
Absolutely.
5 big questions?
Absolutely.
Your boy, all right, Aaron Judge, hit his 44th tank, Jake. Again, I'm going to keep asking the same question. Can he hit 65 homers?
What did I say last time?
You said yes.
I'm just telling you, right? Look at the amount of games. I don't think we're asking a lot. You know what? Let's go ahead and run the clip. Blaine, this guy doesn't take steroids. You want to know why? He's a monster. He's swinging a redwood tree. Let's go ahead and run the clip real quick. Against the Mariners. Let's play a game called That's Gone.
Deep center field.
He hit that like it was nothing.
It is gone.
He's the judge, the jury, and the executioner, Blaine.
Why are you still pitching to this?
I don't understand that either.
Do you want him? I think they want him. The Major League called down, like, look, you got to pitch to him. We want to see if he can break the home run record.
Well, I think he's going to, and guess what? You know who the single-season home run leader is in my book? Roger Maris. You know who the all-time home run record holder is to me? Hank Aaron. You can't take steroids and me be able to say you're the home run leader. That's like saying, all right, well, we got a NASCAR, but one guy has nitrous and everybody else doesn't, and he wins every race. Oh, he's the greatest ever. You cheated? I don't believe it. It doesn't help you hit a baseball, but it helps you hit a baseball further. And when it comes to home runs, we all know the ball goes over the fence, it's a home run. But it's not just that. Steroids, you catch one off the handle, now it bloops over the second baseman's head instead of being a pop-out to the pitcher.
Let me ask you this. So if anybody throughout their career gets busted for steroids, no, that doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count. Okay. No, I'm not saying their career doesn't count, but I'm saying if they get a record like home runs or stolen bases, like it's erroneous to me. It's cheating.
Should they be kept out of the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Okay, but you think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame?
If NBA Pete Rose should be because he just bet on his own team to win. I'd much rather take a guy that's betting on his own team to win.
Is that
that's
all
injecting himself with stem cells.
I don't know if that's all he did. But anyway, okay. Do you take the same philosophy with pitchers? Like the strikeout king is.
It makes you throw it harder.
Yeah,
doesn't help you.
I know that. I'm just saying, it's in terms of
it's an unfair
records.
advantage.
I know what
It's an unfair. It's like if you let an NBA player shoot on a 9-foot goal, and everybody else has to shoot on 10. It's an unfair advantage. Aaron Judge was born a monster. He's straight out of Mordor. He tried to talk Frodo out of throwing the ring in the volcano. But that dude doesn't have to take steroids. His head hasn't gotten bigger. Look at Miguel Cabrera. Definitely didn't take steroids. You know what he took? Cheeseburgers. Straight to the gut.
Miguel Cabrera. All right, let's stay in the MLB here. The Padres are 1-5 since trading for Juan Soto, Jake. Okay, are they a serious contender this season?
They are, because there's a lot of games left and they're talented and it takes time to get chemistry. But baseball's a little bit different. You're up there by yourself, bro. Like, I'm not having to pass you the ball. Like, we're not having to work on the 3-man weave for you to understand it. Fly balls hit to you, you catch it. You get in the box, I'm not up there helping you. It's like Eddie Murphy on Life. He's like, man, I'm right there with you. No, I'm not right there with you. You're a grown man in the box. I'll continue to say it. I'm just glad he didn't go to the Dodgers as a Braves fan, because we're not seeing the pods in the NLCS, okay? We're not seeing the pods in the SEC. We're definitely not seeing the Padres in the NLCS. It's going to be the Dodgers, and the Braves will win the NL East, and I'll look you in the eyes and say that, Mets fans.
What do you say?
No. You said contender late? Is that what you said?
Yeah, are they a serious contender to win the World Series?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they got the pitching to do it.
You don't think Manea,
No,
Yu
not got the
Darvish,
pitching, no.
Musgrove?
They don't have the pitching to do it.
Musgrove's on the mound tonight, I think.
Yeah, he's on the mound, but I still don't think it's going to take some time.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the NFL. How many NFL teams would improve with Jimmy Garoppolo as their quarterback?
Man, I'm going to tell you what.
49ers are still holding on to him.
Cone, I'm going to be honest with you. Like I was looking at this when we brought up this topic earlier. I'm looking around and, could you say the Browns with Jacoby Brissett without Deshaun Watson? To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind taking Davis Mills. I mean, he, to me, is as good as Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo has to have weapons around him. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo is not a guy that all of a sudden, if you're a team that has average skill position players and wide receivers, he's going to turn them into all pro. Jimmy G he's average. He's an average quarterback. So I'm looking around, you can say maybe the Bears, because Justin Fields, it still's not clicking yet.
Really?
Maybe that's one, but even that to me is a stretch. The Lions with Jared Goff. I mean, if we're going to argue Jared Goff and Jimmy G, why don't we just argue peanut butter jelly and vanilla ice cream if we're going to talk about average things? So again, it just, in my mind, I'm looking around the landscape, all right, who's the worst? If you look at FPI, they think the Bears are the worst.
Seattle.
Seattle's
That's
the one that sticks out.
Seattle's one.
Giants.
Okay, so you take Jimmy G over Daniel Jones.
Yes, I do.
I can see that.
The Justin Fields, I don't know enough.
Exactly.
I don't know enough.
I agree.
Well, that's what I'm talking about
Justin,
this year.
I still think Justin could have a good year.
Especially
right
if you
now,
had to make a trade move for him, like in a hypothetical where you could try both of them out. That's a little different. I can see why the Bears wouldn't want to make a move for him, though.
Yeah, no, again,
What about
you got to give Justin.
What about Steelers?
You got to see, it's not fair. We haven't.
You just went for.
Well, Mitch, they said he couldn't score in the red zone if you gave him 12 guys on the field right now, according to the way it's going. But again, Jimmy G is not that much of an upgrade if you have average skill position players. He's not the guy that's going to elevate you to success the way that other guys have. It's just, again.
So what do you think the Falcons are thinking here? I mean, they got Marcus Mariota, drafted Desmond Ridder. They're clearly trying to get a high draft pick next season. Do you think Marcus Mariota will start every game for the Falcons?
I think he will, because I think they're going to let Desmond Ridder redshirt and kind of see how it falls, next year. But I didn't really understand the Desmond Ridder pick for the Falcons. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand Mariota because, look, if you're going to try and not be super competitive so you can pick a high-level quarterback, Marcus Mariota can sneak around and win 5-6 games. I know the roster isn't exactly blossoming with talent, but it's better than some that are out there. The Falcons just, it's weird to me. Like they're in some purgatorical, well, we want a tank so we can maybe get Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, but we don't want to, embarrass ourselves. It's just a weird situation to me.
So let's talk about the Saints for a second then, because now I'm just going down this rabbit hole. Jameis Winston probably has a higher ceiling when he's playing really well than Jimmy Garoppolo does. Does Jimmy Garoppolo have a higher floor, though, when Jameis Winston is just sporadic and off?
I don't know. I don't think so, because, again, if you're trying...
Not throughout the entirety of a season?
No. Again, Jameis is a roller coaster, but Jameis has... And again, I know he kind of runs goofy, and it looks like he's always falling down like a giraffe that was just born, but he always seems to stay up and make crazy throws at crazy angles. Does he put the ball in harm's way a little bit too much? Yes, but I think he is learning. I think Jameis does honestly want to improve. I mean, you see the way he's been grinding. I'm glad he wasn't severely hurt when you had that kind of injury noise coming out of
well, he just got hurt.
I know, but it's not as bad as what they thought, the severity of it. So I think Jameis Winston, I would much rather take a flyer on Jameis Winston if I'm trying to win than say, all right, Jimmy G, come in here and let's hand it off and I'll watch you throw the dig for 4 quarters.
But if you're realistically trying to tank, there's no reason for you to bring Jimmy G in. There's no reason to do it. Just tank. Like, if you're the Seahawks, why? Why? But don't. Well, just go Drew Lock. If you're like the Lions, why? Keep Jared Goff. Like, there's no reason to try to bring another quarterback. If you're the Falcons, why?
Is Jimmy G that much better than Jared Goff?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That's Spider-Man, Jeff. I mean, they're both in the
I don't know. To me, Jimmy Garoppolo was at his best when he was backing up Tom Brady, so maybe he should just go to the Bucs and back up Brady.
Look, go have a great time, man. Just be rich, good-looking, and win a Super Bowl. I mean, it's great. Like, turn into Bruce Wayne. I don't know.
All right, some news from the tennis world here. Serena Williams is kind of retiring. Actually, she's calling it an evolution, Jake, not a retirement. Says, I want to, let's see here, move on to the next chapter. Doesn't use the word retirement, and instead opting for evolution.
And Evelyn, what is she, Demi Lovato?
What does this mean? Are you playing tennis or not?
Yeah, like just say are you retiring or not. Look, Serena Williams, obviously legendary in the sport. Like, do I really deep down care? No, but I will give respect. You know, I'm not as big into tennis as you are. But again, she was somebody that, you know, has been an inspiration for a lot of people. Do I agree with everything that she says? No. Do I think she should have stayed with Drake? Yes. But again, it's, you know, whatever you're doing, evolution, I don't know what Pokemon you're turning into, but, you know, whatever
Drake could beat her when he was playing with her left, by the way, or so he says.
That's true. That's a good
I don't understand what's going on.
It's an evolution, man.
Okay, what?
Follow along.
Like on the tennis court?
I can play tennis sometimes. Maybe I won't play. It's kind of like a boxer. So it's like Floyd. You know, he wants to retire, but of course he's going to come back and fight again.
I don't know. Like, I've always enjoyed watching her play tennis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's an absolute savage on a tennis court. Changed the women's game almost, in my opinion, just from a physical standpoint, velocity of a ball. But, you know, just don't get into the weird waters of you going out of your way to somehow do something to your legacy on the tennis court. If you're going to stop playing tennis, stop playing tennis. So let's not get knee deep in the water and try and figure it out.
Well, since she had her first child, she hadn't been able to get over that hump in the majors, especially. And it's funny, I think that she was so great, she didn't really change the women's tennis game because no one else can do what she can do, honestly, just in terms of how powerful her serve was.
When she started.
No, I know what you mean. And like change the game in terms of like more than just on the court popularity and all that.
Her and Venus are the most popular women's tennis players. That I think of women's tennis, that's what I think about. I don't think about Martina Navratilova or Billie Jean King.
Or Margaret Court. Most titles.
Oh, I thought that was the former Prime Minister of Britain.
Hold on.
Maybe that was Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Court, 24 titles, Serena, 23. And she's been chasing that for several years. It's sort of like a Tiger Jack situation. Tiger may not end up with the most majors, but...
When did she play? Not Serena, but Margaret.
61 to 73.
They were playing with like Peach Rat. Like,
Serena would slaughter her.
Yeah, Serena just...
I agree with that.
But
again, she was still beating all of the best players who did what she did. That's what I always have to bring up on that argument.
Okay,
like,
so
it's not like in the 60s and 70s, all the best tennis players weren't still trying to play professional.
I'm just glad we hit our women's tennis quota for the year.
For the year.
Yeah. Good job, Coach.
When else would we talk about
That's
it?
exactly
now,
right.
If not now, when?
Exactly right.
Okay. Moving back to college football, the Big Ten is going to have the 3:30 CBS game moving forward. A little bit weird.
College football just keeps changing like wildly. Like if they keep the same music as the SEC on CBS, I'm going to be legitimately upset. Look, it's an arms race. You look at ESPN with the SEC. I know what's going on. You're having basically ESPN versus Fox, and then CBS is trying to get their name in there. So what you're going to end up happening is that SEC game that was the marquee one on CBS is now going to be on ABC at 7 Central, I believe. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. It's going to be totally different, all right? It's going to be totally different. I just wonder, you know, the Big Ten, again, second best conference. I get it, all right? And I know that it's an absolute fleecing. I mean, right now, the SEC was paying, $55 million a year? And now the CBS is getting like $350 million from the Big Ten. Like, it's an absolute fleecing. It's going to change the way that we watch college football because the time's going to be all thrown off. Because growing up, for me, in SEC country, it was Jefferson Pilot Sports, which not a lot of people are going to know what that is, all right, which is now basically the SEC network in a way. You had the early game, that was Jefferson Pilot. You had the CBS game, because they've been doing this since 1982. Like, this didn't just start a couple years ago. You had the 2:30 game, then you had the late ESPN game for the SEC. Now it's just going to be kind of all, you know, coagulated everywhere. It's just, look, college football's changing, man. The times they
I guess the Big Ten won't be on ESPN anymore at all.
No, they're ending their, they're ending their, that's what, since 1982, ESPN will not televise Big Ten games anymore. So what happens to the ACC Big Ten Challenge now? Basketball. Probably Gonzo the Clown. So it's really interesting. We may get Trey Wallace on to talk about it a little bit. He wrote a really good article today. It's just, again, the times they're changing, man. The times they are a-changing. Speaking of changing, Blaine, Booster Club.
What?
Change me.
Okay, a lot of people are saying Jimmy G could go to the Vikings. And
You know what?
they get better.
There's 10 minutes.
Come on, man. There's levels to this.
What did they say? Jimmy G was handsome.
Handsome Kirk Cousins.
And if I can't play for the Packers, then I don't know what we're talking about.
Matthew Bosco, who do you guys think would be a good fit for Roquan now that he's requesting a trade from the Bears?
anywhere that needs a really good defensive player. What's going on with the Bears?
I don't know.
For an organization that has a following like they do, and people that care and the tradition they have with Ditka and all them, like, I don't get it. Why can't they figure it out? Like, it's weird. Like, Roquan's like, no, y'all don't want me? All right. And people say, oh, well, this happens. The Bears, to me, just can't figure it out. There's no weapons around Justin Fields. I don't care what you say. Roquan Smith wants to leave. It's a disaster. Y'all are FPI, the worst team in the NFL. How does that happen? Is Lori Lightfoot running the team? That would make sense.
He wants to put a dome over Soldier Field.
All right, Tempo says, punter go, tennis screens.
Tennis screens?
Yeah, tennis.
Yeah. Turn the lights off and get weird.
Look,
I'm gonna go on that.
Yeah, go, yeah.
Yeah?
Punter
Keep it
go,
PG for the
I don't
kids.
know. Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Look, I'm paying attention to if the shot's in or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you are.
How's the shot? Is it down the line? A little
Like me
inside out
watching
forehand,
beach
maybe.
volleyball. I'm
If
definitely
you come
paying
in
attention to
inside
the
out,
score.
Tempo also says Bonds was a very entertaining cheater.
He was a very entertaining cheater. Look, Blaine wants them all to take steroids. He wants 400.
When was baseball the funnest
he
to
wants
watch?
500-foot home runs.
When was everybody watching baseball? When Mark McGwire was up there squeezing the bat so hard it'd blow up in his hands. You could see the veins in Barry Bonds' head from the upper deck. And people are hitting it 600 feet. Just think about it right now if they let him use it. Or now you're like, I don't even know.
I'm not playing third.
Think about
or
it right
first.
now. You'd see 110 miles per hour fastballs.
You're almost seeing them.
You see someone hit 700 feet.
How about just a steroid league?
You just want to turn.
It'd
You wanna go
sell.
over there?
I guarantee there'd be more eyes on that than Major League Baseball.
No.
Guarantee it.
No.
Guarantee it.
No.
If you had a steroid league, what do you watch?
What about
What are you gonna watch?
I'm watching
if they
Major League
can't?
Baseball.
Liar. What are you
What
watching?
if they can't field because they're running around? Like,
That's the funny.
No, you don't even have fielders. You don't even have
Oh,
fielders. You just
it's
have a
not
pitcher.
baseball.
You have a pitcher
It's
and a
not
hitter.
even baseball.
How far can you hit it, and how hard can you throw
You don't
it?
have fielders.
Speaking about injuries, we actually have
Footage,
some
yeah.
footage of how Chris Sale, you talk about fleecing.
Oh, no.
This guy's made like 10 starts in like 5 years.
Oh,
He got paid
no.
$145 million. We have this. Chris Sale fell off his bike, broke his wrist.
Tough
We
one,
actually
man.
have footage. Roll it.
Oh, no.
All right. I hate minor league bathrooms.
Chris!
Oh, there it is.
No.
Oh, man, just straight off the bike. That's definitely Chris Sale.
Yeah,
Not
that's
anybody else.
Hey, can we play that new SpongeBob sound that we put on there?
Ooh, yes.
Oh.
For this
one's
video?
soundboard.
This video?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
All right, we're going to go over to the board of
love
please
it.
God, let football season hurry up.
Oh, you too?
Yeah. So went 1-1 yesterday. Again, just trying to get to football season. We got football Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Blaine, why's your hand raised?
Everyone's down with the steroids.
I'm sure they are.
Everyone is down with the steroids.
The steroid league.
I mean, all drug Olympics. Steroid baseball is just way more fun to watch. I miss the steroid era. Blaine, great idea. Let's do it. A Saudi-backed steroid league.
Saudi-backed steroid league.
I mean, cause make it happen.
The VIL. The VIL. It's like, yeah, today we're going to pitch to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Here's what I got today. Again, still in the green overall. Let's get to football season. Give me the Marlins, Phillies, Nerfy -122, because who cares? And then give me the Angels, A's, Nerfy -150. Probably not going to hit.
No, don't say that.
No, it's probably not going to hit. No, it's definitely not.
It's not going to hit. You see what's going on with us back here.
It's the same bet I have. I need that to hit.
All right. Well, then it may.
No, it's not going to hit, Code.
All right, I share your energy back there. I'm gonna take Phillies -1.5, -115, Mets -1.5, -150, and hurry up football season. At least I'm getting to the point in my life where it's like, okay, my son is outperforming me. I thought it might take 16, 18 years. My son's outperforming me, so at least I can be proud of that. But at the same time, it kind of hurts the ego.
Hey, well, guess what? At least it's your own son. It's not like you're getting beat by the neighbor's kid.
Between that and dealing with the DMV, it's like, look, man, I got to bounce back this week.
It's still early.
Last night I took an L, but today I bounced back.
Right, Kings, yeah. All right, 8-6. I'm never betting a Yankees-Seattle Nerfy again.
I can't believe y'all both took.
Well, I keep looking at Logan Gilbert. He's 10-4. He's really
Oh,
slick.
yo,
He's
y'all-
like, hey, what's up, curveball? Aaron Judge, a.k.a. Reptard, is hitting it 440 yards in right center. So this is what I'm taking. I really dove deep a little bit today on
yeah, you pulled one straight
top
out
of
board.
the top of the first, I believe it's top of the first.
Yes, it's the first pitch of the game.
Pitch. Well, you can do top or top of the second or top of the third.
But you did first pitch.
You did
Yeah, it's first pitch. You want to read them?
Yeah, you did first pitch.
You want to read them?
Yeah, you did.
I mean, you want to read them?
Ball or hit
Go
by
ahead.
pitch.
So first pitch ball or hit by pitch in the Dodgers-Twins game. Okay, I'm thinking high outside fastball. Hey, just don't swing. All right, just don't swing. It's plus 180. But if there's anything plus 115 or less, I want to take it. All right,
50, I would say it's 50-50, but it's really like 33% because he could throw a ball and you'd swing and
or you can hit it, So then I'm taking, hey, bet buds, Jake. Give me the Angels. Shohei on the mound, and the Oakland A's. Nerfy minus 150. 8-6. I need your son to chill out.
Hey, read Baby Cone's
All right, so I don't know if Blaine saw this. I'm not going to let him see it, but since Blaine, so you got to understand, Baby Cone was 1-6. He is now 8-6. Talk about crawling to victory. All right, he wants the Pods money line minus 170, and he's going exactly opposite of Blaine. First pitch strike, Dodgers, Twins, minus
Who would have thought that?
He's 86-59 overall. You just thinks it was a Land O'Lakes convention because it's a butterfly.
I mean, what are the chances on the day that you take that first pitch in that game to be a ball? He takes it to be a strike. I can't imagine.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know.
I just wonder how.
If you want to run with the champ, you can run with the champ. It's fine.
Wow, you're trash talking somebody that's not even been on the earth for a year yet. God, that Cone's his dad. He's going to have to fight you.
Look, man. Look, he took it. It's his pick.
All right, well, no, Cone's like, I'm going to let him fight his own battle. Cone's got to win, too.
You got to grow up sometime.
You got to grow up sometime. It's like throwing him in the pool. Here's how you swim. So we do got to give a shout out. Wildcat Cubs fan.
Yes.
10-0. Shia LaBeouf class.
Yeah, I told you I didn't jinx you, buddy. Said it on the show.
You did.
Try to say I jinxed you, man of the people, baby.
10-0. Congrats. Obviously, DM me your address. We're going to send you Crane and Company merch package. I've had a couple people hit 10-0. Remember, if you're in the Booster Club, I put out the tweet every day. Next week, I'm going to start. Actually, you know what? Tomorrow, I'm going to start putting it on Facebook and Instagram, too.
And we're changing it to 15-0 now.
No, we're not.
You have to go.
No, we're not.
To make it.
We'll be at 45-0.
That's already hard enough.
I mean, these guys are better than Chris Felica. All right, so Wildcat Cubs fan, 10-0. Didn't hit his bet yesterday, but today he's getting back on the train, and he's going with the Cubs, Nats, Nerfy, minus 140. We'll see. You never know. Tall Riot, 6-0. He wants Christian Arroyo for the Red Sox to get at least one hit. That's minus 195. Win 21-44 is 4-0. He wants the Angels, A's, Nerfy. Welcome to the team. Minus 170. We got it at minus 150. Cam Fram's 4-0. I feel like Cam Fran is always up here. He gets like 4 or 5 or 6, and then something happens. That's how betting works. He wants the Pods, Gigantes, Nerfy at minus 140. BJPS 09XG13.
Nice.
It's 3-0. I didn't screw that up like I did the other day. He wants the Phillies minus 1.5. Cone, you guys are bet buds. Snuggle together and look in each other's eyes. Then Husky Cookie is 3-0. He wants the Marlins, Phillies, Nerfy minus 135. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Help me. Then the Red Aaron's 2-0. He wants the Pods money line. It's just bet bud season. Bet buds with Baby Cone there. Good to see the Red Aaron back, by the way, taking on the Blue Aaron. It's always interesting to see that matchup. Sister Riggs, 1-0. She wants Nats, Cubs, Nerfy. Yes. Mad Dog Murray, welcome to the fam. His first bet, 0-0. Cardinals money line minus 170. And then this guy, B. Cercio's 0-3. Ooh, he must not know. Yeah, he's 0-3. He's going to take the Astros money line. So I would go ahead and fade him like Michael Jordan with a hand in his face. So again, Hall of Fame, congrats. We got another one in there.
Absolutely.
Remember, 10-0. That's the deal. Blaine, poll.
But first.
But wait, there's more.
But first. All right, M. Hutton. All right, he says, you need to watch the documentary Fastball. Humans are not physically capable of throwing 110 miles per hour. 105, 106 is about as fast as a human can possibly throw a baseball.
I don't.
Cap.
No. I don't agree with that. I don't care what your science says.
Cap.
If anything's been taught to us over the past 4 years, the science is wrong.
Yeah, don't believe it. We'll see 110 miles per hour baseball. And Jimbo Eagle wants to know, what's the fastest pitch each of us has ever thrown?
Has ever thrown or seen?
Thrown.
I think I topped out. I think I hit 90 once.
You hit 90?
You didn't hit 90.
He hit 90?
That's a lie. He did not hit 90.
Not me.
That is a lie.
What did you hit?
86.
You
did not hit 86 and 90 are a big difference.
I was probably
Not really. I'd rather see
86.
90 than 86. Honestly.
You said 90.
85,
How dare
86
you.
maybe.
I
90s.
feel like you. I feel like in your prime, you could have reached back with those long arms and just grabbed the sun
I
one
don't know.
time.
It's just like I feel like I was on a trajectory for that, and then I don't know. I would get so much tendonitis in my elbow from pitching in baseball. Throw 1,000 footballs a day, never have any pain.
Yeah.
Baseball always got tendonitis, and I was about 85, 86 right there, freshman, sophomore year of baseball, and I don't know. It was just like I could throw a football up there.
You're
fast.
throwing 86 as a freshman in high school, though. Is
Well,
gas.
I mean, it was
You're
probably
throwing 86 as a freshman in high school.
No,
Why
I'm
aren't you
saying
throwing 96 right.
Yeah.
no.
Why am I not taking your
I'm saying by the
Nerfy
time
in
I meant
first
by the time I stopped playing.
Oh, okay,
I didn't play
gotcha,
my
gotcha,
senior
gotcha.
year, so that would have been the end of my junior season.
Okay. Couple things here before I get to the poll. We got time. Cal Kennedy says, let's add a unit aspect to the Hall of Fame. Have to be 10-0, but also have to plus 7 units. Riot High says, I'm here at the end of the show to say Blaine followed me, so I resend my not a man of the people comment. Blaine followed me, so he is a man of the people. You're damn right.
Ah, you can be quid pro quo.
All right, here it is. The poll. We ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
What is worse? The DMV, Portland, or hell?
Hell. I mean,
No.
hell.
No.
Yeah.
You just went to the DMV. Give me the DMV.
Look,
I'll say the
hell's worse.
DMV, 41%.
It's the reason the term hell, exists and we talk about it.
DMV, 37%.
Oh, well,
Okay.
37, 20.
Hell,
Portland.
24%. Portland, 40%.
That's tough. That's tough. All right, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you're following us on all platforms. Remember, we're going to start going in the morning here in a couple weeks. So, again, whether you're taking your kids to school, making breakfast in the morning, you'll be able to watch us live and interact in the chat. Really excited about that. And we got another huge announcement that we're going to add to the show that, let's just say, will get you even more involved from a cellular level, if we can put it that way. But we appreciate you guys. Make sure you check us out tomorrow, same time. More great stuff. It's football season. Everybody get excited. Let's get weird together. And like the chances of Cone throwing a 98-mile-per-hour fastball now with all the tendonitis in his elbow, we're gone.